Right, welcome to beginner mode, and today thought I might try some tracking with my DJI Air 2S to track some moving subjects, i.e. people walking. I'm not a great fan of tracking shots myself because I'm not really into action sports and such, and I generally don't find the footage looks that great. But a lot of people like it, so I thought I might give it a try with my Air 2S. And this is the kind of environment I'll be trying it in. Right now it's tracking the woman, and we'll just see how it does. Yeah, there's a branch to the left that it just avoided, so that's a point for the Air 2S. Now, this drone does not have any obstacle avoidance sideways flying. You can put it in sideways parallel tracking mode. I wouldn't do that unless you're in a very open area, because simply you might just fly into something, especially in an environment like this where there isn't even really room to fly beside a subject that you're tracking. But so far, here's another branch. Yeah, and that's a tiny twig. Now, it might help the obstacle avoidance system that there's some snow on the twigs. That might help it. I'm not really sure, but I think it's doing quite well so far. So it's going a bit lower, I think. It's not that far from the subject it's tracking, and obviously we're going very slow. But, you know, that's what this test is about, just to see how it does. And here's a tricky one, or it should be. What's it going to do? Yeah. Oh, made it through by going right and slightly down. I think that's pretty good, actually. Catching up to the subject again because she got away a bit. And now we're pretty much out in the open. More or less. Like I said, there's parallel tracking, but this is tracking from behind. So follow is what they call it. And as you can see, it's swerving a bit now. It's got some branches close to it, but it didn't really react to them. Didn't crash into them either. Switching the subject now. Here's an obstacle that it'll have to negotiate. And, well, it stops for a while, but then it actually decides to go low and left, and then around. And I think that's worth a few points, actually. And here we have one subject but two people in frame, so let's see how the DJI Air 2S does when there's possible confusion of subjects. Now it's locking on the man and following the man, which you might be able to tell because it's in the middle of the frame. There, just swerved another branch, went around it. Very good. Well, I'm liking this so far. I still don't fancy the way the footage looks, because I think skilled manual flying would always generate a prettier result and smoother flying. But nevertheless, you know, if you don't have someone to pilot it when you're tracking yourself, for instance, then this might be a good option. And certainly there are better drones on the market for tracking moving subjects. But this is just to demonstrate how the Air 2S is faring and to show you that it's actually doing pretty well, considering its limitations. But you do have to be careful how you use it, I suppose. So it's not confusing the subjects, even when there are two people in the frame and when they switch places. So that's good. And now we're coming to a very narrow passage. And it's a bit enclosed, but yeah, it ducks down and then it goes around and under again. And this is the last challenge here. It's catching up and it's seeing the obstacles, obviously. So yeah, it tends to stop and hesitate for a bit just in order not to crash. But then eventually when it decides what to do, like now, it shoots around and catches up. So yeah, I think that's for what it is, a short little test if you're taking a stroll through the woods with, you know, somewhat challenging environment. I think the DJI Air 2S did fairly well. Thanks.